Hello, dear one. My name is Naniya from Love and Freedom Life Strategies. I'm a health and life coach. My grandma, Nilah, got Alzheimer's, and she died about 11 years ago. And I had the great privilege of being able to be a part of her last number of years and watch as the disease progressed in her. And also I got to watch how the beauty in her came out more and more as she reverted into almost a childlike state. It was very difficult at times. That's kind of an understatement. But there were some moments that were so precious. One thing I remember that was amazing to me was how muscle memory kicked in. She had played the piano and the organ her entire life and had played a lot in churches, so she knew a lot of hymns by heart. And when she couldn't remember who we were, she couldn't remember much of anything, she'd sit down at the organ and she'd play hymn after hymn after hymn because her muscle memory was still there. It was pretty amazing. I remember hearing a story about how she'd be up all night because that was part of the illness. She'd be up wandering all night. She was in a home. And one of the nurses who covered the night shift told my mom about how grandma became this beautiful vessel of healing and like a corrective emotional experience for her, because she had had an extremely rocky relationship with her mom. It had been a very, very difficult relationship. And my grandma in the middle of the night would come and sit on her lap and would stroke her hair and would sing to her because what was coming out of this dear woman, my grandma, was the sweetness that she had nurtured her whole life, the kindness, the gentleness, and she poured that out on this nurse who found it incredibly healing. I also remember standing in a little circle with her because, as my dad often would, whenever we'd visit her, he would want to end the time in prayer. So he would say, all right, let's hold hands, let's gather around, we'll say a prayer before we leave. So holding grandma's hand and my dad asking her, would you like to pray? So she said, she bowed her head, she said, dear, well, you know who you are. And then she started to say a prayer, which by that point, often her speech was gibberish. So she was praying, but none of us understood what she was saying, which didn't really matter. She wasn't talking to us. And then she paused and she ended by saying, with hearts wide open. The only part of the prayer really that was intelligible to us, but what a blessing. With hearts wide open. I want to live my life with this attitude, this sweetness. I've asked myself before, if I get Alzheimer's and if sort of the very basic nature of who I am comes out without any filters, without any censorship, because that's all gone. You know, she had reverted to the behavior of a child in a way, and there was no censoring anymore. But what flowed out of her was sweetness and kindness and with hearts wide open. I've asked myself, what am I growing in me? What am I nurturing in me? So that if I got to that point, you know, what would come out of me? What do I want? What would I want to come out of me? What would I want to spill out and over to the people around me so that I would continue to be a blessing and of service to the world, even in a very, very vulnerable state like that, where there isn't a whole lot of, or maybe any control anymore. May you live with heart wide open. May you nurture sweetness and tenderness and kindness in yourself. And may you continue to be a blessing to this world. I know that you are. Thank you for being with me today. Peace to you.